Welcome to episode number 306 of the Keep Up Podcast.
Well, we're like diabetes. No matter how much you try to get rid of us, we always spike your numbers.
It felt like a good intro. I don't know.
I have no comments about it. I'm not diabetic, so I don't know.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yo, 30 and I can do whatever I want.
That's Tim's new slogan. I just want everyone to be prepared.
Yes, I'm going to say it every episode.
Tim has been 30 for...
Sonic music.
Absolute chaos. Ever since Tim turned 30 yesterday, it has been nothing but chaos.
There's no rules anymore.
Nope.
Not
when Tim can do whatever he wants,
it's a mess.
Yeah.
Just like this angle here. Is it right this week?
Dude,
Who knows?
I walked in and Tim was like, I got the angle perfect. If you're listening, it's fine. Everything looks great.
Right.
If you're watching, who knows? There could be too much space to my right. There could be too much space to Tim's left. But I walked in and he's like, I figured it out.
I got the idea.
I nailed it. I know exactly what the problem has been. Mm-hmm. And then I sat down and Tim messed with the camera for, 45 minutes.
Yep.
So I feel like maybe he didn't figure it out.
Paddington waited until we started the podcast.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you guys recording?
Now.
What's up, Dougie?
Looking at the table right now, I think we can go more to the right a little bit.
It feels fine to me.
Okay.
You put my laptop on the edge of the earth.
Right, it was way more edgelord this time around.
It's barely hanging on, dude.
Hey, is that a Sonic reference?
Why?
Hanging on the edge of tomorrow.
Dude, I listened to, I played the Sonic and Shadow Generations and beat it. It's great. Game's so good. And I listened to Escape. What's the actual title?
Escape from the City?
Escape from the City. I almost said Escape the City, but I didn't want to embarrass myself.
I'm glad you asked, Brett.
Crazy. I feel so much better now.
Yeah.
I listened to it so much. And then when I found out that the actual soundtrack has like an updated version of the song.
Dude.
And then I just listened to the whole Generation soundtrack.
Oh.
It's real good.
Yeah, the Generations remake, as far as the music goes, is really solid.
Yeah, it's great. And the remakes of the Genesis version of the songs.
Yes.
They're great.
They're so well done.
They got a lot of good low end. If you're listening, you need to turn the bass up.
Turn the bass up. Sonic, if there's two things I know about Sonic, it's bass.
Yep.
And that he's blue.
What is this dog doing right now?
What's that dog doing?
I mean, sincerely, what is...
Are you itching his ear?
No.
What is he doing?
I don't know. He's got his face like pushed up against the table in a way that I don't
Maybe
understand.
his face is itchy.
Is your face itchy, dude? This is a pretty weird animal.
He is.
So Tim turned 30.
I turned 30.
We missed. I feel like I start most episodes by saying we missed a week.
Dude, I'll tell you, this year has been nothing but insanity.
Has it been better than last year so far?
Oh, so much better.
Let's go. We love that.
Even though my room was full of noxious fumes.
That's right. I did forget about that.
And,
you did have.
I couldn't be in my room at least for a full day and 2 nights.
Yeah.
2
So
sleeps.
so last week, I was running around this state. Was it even this state? I think I might have been in a different state.
He was all over the place.
Crazy work day. I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm going to make it tonight. It's a crazy one, but I'll keep you posted. And then Tim was like, you know what? My room is full of murderous gas. What happened?
So, to keep a long story short, as some people say.
He won't.
No, I never do. I'm always long-winded.
Yep.
Basically, outside of our recording area, a.k.a. my room, a.k.a. your mom's Friday night hangout spot, there is... I'm 30 and I can do whatever I want.
I didn't see that one coming.
Me neither. It just came out. Dude, comedy. That's my goal this year.
Yeah.
Stand up. That would be wild.
I'll take you, dude.
Dude, I know you want to.
I
I would be so scared. Don't hold the cup like that's going to be. What does that represent? What if we do a stand-up show together?
Just taking this. Well, of course we would. I wouldn't take you and just make you go up.
No, are we doing
I'd drop you off. I mean, let me know how it goes. I'll see you later.
No, are we doing 2 separate sets or are we doing a set together?
Oh, you want to do a joint set?
People do that?
Yes.
Can I be like Carrot Top and just have props?
Not often, though. I don't see it a lot. And yeah, you can.
I don't want to, though.
I don't think I've seen a single prop comic at a local open mic.
Oh, yeah, because that's just...
It's bold. It's a bold move.
It's very brave.
You should try it.
I can do pretty good prop comedy. I don't know how you do it. Well, I need like hidden tables. Like when I pull up props,
that's
for,
going to
like,
be.
streams
It's not
and
a
things
full
like
production,
that.
dude.
Right.
An open mic is like you get a mic and
a little stool to put
maybe
your water
a stool.
on.
Yeah.
And dude, I don't know. That would be.
I will say I've learned in my time doing it, which brief as it was, having a drink in my hand made a big difference.
Oh, I bet.
Because I didn't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, because that would be me. My hands would go all over the place.
Yeah.
But my big thing is I and leave space open a lot.
Space is okay. You got to be comfortable with space, but the ums and everything, you just have to not allow yourself. Like you literally, because you can feel it. Like you can feel yourself fighting it on stage. Because if it's quiet. An tells everybody, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Right.
Even if they already know you're new at it, if you can just not dude, you're leagues above.
Already above. But
Yeah.
I can't even do it for the podcast. If I'm thinking
You don't have
for
to,
a long
though. This is
period of
different.
time.
This is different.
Yeah,
It's a different platform.
I feel like with podcasts, though, you want to speak eloquently.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I've definitely over-ummed on podcasts here and there, on episodes here and there, but it depends on the type of podcast. Like I did that solo podcast that I did. I realized if I too much and it's only you talking,
Especially when people like catch on it and then you start counting the
it's all you can hear?
It's all you can hear.
dude, I watched something recently.
We ruined this podcast by saying that. They're going to listen for the ums the whole
Don't
time.
count the ums.
Dude,
I
already?
didn't
Immediately?
What just went through my head is like, I don't think I've ummed very much, actually. And then I immediately did it. I watched a podcast recently, and it was an interview style, and the person being interviewed, when they were being spoken to, would like, in an agreeance with the person talking, would like, you know how people are like, yeah,
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
The person only had one mode of that, which was, it was only that.
Oh, no.
And they were an engaged listener, so they did it a lot. But at some point, it became, you know, when you say a word too often, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Right, it sounds like almost nothing.
This happened so many times that it's all I could hear. I couldn't even hear what the host was saying because it was just,
No. Stop.
It was the same tone and length every time. I felt like I was going crazy. So I almost didn't get through. I literally had to go listen to something else and come back later because it was a great episode.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to hear what this person had to say.
But the way they listened, it was like...
it's so weird how you get to that point and you're like, that's all I can hear now.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I go like, like when I'm listening.
You just got to vary it sometimes.
Yeah, you got to change it up. You go, yeah, you
Yeah.
go, yes, you go, cool. That's cool, bro.
Sometimes I go,
What? No way. Anyway, so the burner
Yeah,
that
what
is
happened?
next to my room, which I guess not everybody has a burner. I think it's more of a New England term for it, but a furnace, a heater, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Basically, this big machine that makes all the. Oh, I said it. I did. Is that different from
Now, see, I didn't notice it, but now,
If you make it smooth enough, it sounds fine.
yeah.
If you
It almost sounds like you're starting another word.
right, like
The boiler.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a connector.
Yes.
So anyways.
Anyways, yeah, continuing from that.
Carry on.
So the boiler, long story short, had a big. I know I said it
If you
twice.
start a story with long story short,
and then say it again,
and then
in
you
the
say it at some
story.
point, that's your brain telling you, you didn't really do it though.
No, you didn't do it right, man. You didn't do it right. You just kept talking.
Long story short, the second part of the story We're in Act 2 of the boiler saga.
It basically had a big blowback, so it was very, very, very dirty and sooty on the inside, which maybe sooty's a word, I don't know.
Sure.
And it basically, all of that nasty gunk blasted back while it was burning, so that caused
Sounds awful.
Oh, I know. It basically caused a chain reaction of both fumes and a strong gas smell, which basically filled the entire basement with this. The fumes, again, were very strong. They were like burning my eyes and throat.
Well, can I say, you
Yes.
were like, when Tim texted me back that day about recording, he's like, well, I'll keep you posted.
Yes.
And then you were like, I'm going to go down and like test it for a while.
Right, because it was the night, it was like 4 a.m. I was up and I heard like this little kaboom noise, but it wasn't like to the point where I was concerned about it. But then I started smelling gas really strong and I was like, okay, that's not good. So I woke up everybody in the house, brought them downstairs, and they were like, it might be bad. Who knows? And I'm like, okay. Which I know they were concerned for me of staying down here. So I went upstairs
sure.
and went to sleep. And then the next day I came back down. And that's when I told Brett, I was like, I'm going to test it out for like, I don't know, an hour, a couple hours, see if I can sit in the room for a little bit. It was like 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and you texted me and you're like, so my eyes are burning and my throat hurts. And I'm like, all right, first of all, get out of there. For sure, don't hang out. And I'm just testing it.
I'm just making
just a little longer.
I can do this.
You're bleeding from the eyes. Yeah.
Well, because the alternative is I can't. What else do I do in my house?
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, you got.
Granted, I could take the consoles out and stuff, but my plan that day was to edit. I had a lot of vlog stuff I wanted to edit, and I don't know. Oh, Nosferatu, I had to edit that as well.
That's right.
So everything got kind of put to the side because I couldn't be in my room I stayed on my room the majority of that day and that night, actually.
Yeah.
So it was essentially like a lost day, although I did a couple of stuff. I got to watch some shows and I made some cool meals that I'm doing for my 30 for 30 challenge.
Oh, yeah,
Made
yeah.
a new recipe and I cleaned up the Christmas tree too. We still have that up.
There you go. So that's stuff you could do.
Right, it was silver lining, but that was the day we were going to do the podcast.
Yeah, because this isn't just like, I mean, it's you guys don't see it all, but Tim's room is also his like recording, streaming, and editing space. It's our recording space. It's like a big area. So not having access to it shut down basically everything you had planned that day. I'm glad you were still productive.
Yeah, I tried to be. I was definitely feeling down about it because I didn't know how long I wasn't going to be able to be in my room either. Right. So then we eventually had guys come out and they cleaned it, and it's all good now.
It seems fine in here. I actually didn't even think about asking you. I just was like,
I'm just came down and inhaled it all. Yeah, basically, if you smell anything bad, that's the problem though, because I didn't know if it was like carbon monoxide or if it was, because that you usually don't smell, you just die.
You just die,
Yeah, well, I think you get like loopy and get a headache and stuff. And
dude, we had a friggin' like a faulty carbon monoxide alarm.
Oh,
like,
God.
Did I tell you about this?
I think you did, but just remind me.
I forget if we talked about it on the podcast, but it was so obnoxious. Something like that being faulty is the worst because it's not like a fire alarm where it's like the alarm's going off. Oh, there's no fire. It's like, oh, this alarm that tells you about this dangerous gas that silently murders you and your family is going off. But there's no way to test. Like, so you have to call. We called the fire department. We took the cats and the kids out into the car.
I had to run away.
Because it's a better safe than sorry kind of situation.
Yeah, because the fire, like you said, you can feel, you can see, you can smell.
This is like nothing.
It's
so
odorless death.
They came and they tested stuff and they're like, yeah, it's just an old alarm. And we're like, all right, cool. Like, just
sorry
chaos.
to waste all of this government thing.
It was such madness.
All the taxes in the town.
For nothing. And I mean, but you gotta, it was one of those things where it's like, you gotta do something like that. But at least yours was like a murderous gas you could smell.
Yes, it was very nice because I could have just gone to sleep that night and then I would have woken up dead.
No one wants that.
No one wants that.
You don't want to wake up dead. Welcome to the Keep Up Podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim is Tim.
That's me.
And we talk about all things we consume, be it media or food.
Or whatever else we want to talk about.
Or whatever else we want to talk about. A lot of freeform lately.
A lot of freeform. I'm kind of liking it.
I like it too. I like it too.
I like talking about the things we're doing, the games we're playing and stuff, but sometimes it's good to just chat.
It is.
Chat about our lives.
I like that. We went to now have you done hot pot before?
No.
So yesterday was, at the time of this recording, yesterday was Tim's birthday. Everybody wished him a happy birthday, or else go, if you're on YouTube, comment happy birthday, Tim. If you're not and you're just listening, I don't know, go to Instagram. We know you're on social media.
Right.
Just say happy birthday to Tim. It's the nice thing to do.
And I'll say thank you ahead of time to everyone that does.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, I'm shaking my head at you.
Yeah, for sure. Because he's not going to respond to you.
No, it's not like you have to. I'm not gonna be upset at anybody who didn't say happy birthday.
But we'll know if you don't.
Well, no, I'll remember.
So yesterday was Tim's birthday.
Yes.
And all he wanted to do was go to hot pot.
Yeah, I usually do like some kind of fun event. It's like another holiday. I treat it.
Yeah.
Not to say like, oh, my birthday's a holiday.
No, but any excuse to listen. If you don't celebrate your birthday,
Yes.
that's okay.
That's fine.
I get that there are some people who they're like, I don't want to make a big deal of it, whatever. But if you're that kind of person, but you secretly want to make a big deal of it, I say any excuse to celebrate and hang out with the homies, do it.
Make it happen.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, birthdays. You don't have to do anything.
I'm just getting older. Why celebrate me getting closer to dying?
Oh. Just do it,
Just
dude.
do
Party.
it. Life's too short. I'm 30 and I can do whatever I want.
Tim can do whatever he wants.
And I feel it now.
Yeah.
I feel reinvigorated.
It's great, dude.
But yeah, birthdays, I always say celebrate them to the max.
Yeah.
Go crazy. And
Yeah.
I do the same for other people when it's their birthdays.
He does.
Because you don't know. You don't know if they don't got no family or no friends or
Right.
nobody wishes them a happy birthday, so you got to be wild about it.
Gotta be wild about
Treat
it.
yourself like a king or queen or grand uncle that day, whatever you want to be.
Do unto others as you would like done to you. And I would like an epic birthday party.
Yes. Well said, Brett.
So I throw an epic birthday party for everyone listening gets a birthday party this year.
That's it.
On Tim.
On me. I'm 30 and I
He
can do
what he
whatever I want.
wants. Yeah. I'm ready.
That's it. That's the rules.
But this year,
yes.
you were like, what would be fun for me is to go to hot pot.
Go do some hot pots.
Now, I had never heard of that. I don't know what that is. We've done like...
you didn't know what it was
I didn't know what it was.
beforehand?
I never knew what that was.
Oh.
We've done Korean barbecue.
Yes.
I've done... what's it called? Is it a Brazilian steakhouse where they just bring you, like you order certain types of meat?
And they slice them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is at least a more Brazilian thing.
Yeah. It's... I'm trying to think. There's a restaurant near us that we did once. So I've done those kinds of things. This was very different, and it was super cool.
It was really cool.
I really liked it.
It was, so if you haven't done hot pot or haven't heard about it, essentially they give you a big bowl of broth or a big pot, and you cook your food in front of you. So
in the table, though.
in the table.
They have like built-in stove eyes or whatever. It feels right to say, I guess.
very, very cook friendly.
And then they just bring over this bowl and they're like, set your table to hot.
Right, there were these little knobs, which half the table didn't even have knobs. They were just like little, whatever the knobs go into.
know.
And so you could turn your heat from 1 to 5. 5 was you're going to burn down the building.
Right.
I don't know why they give you the option for that.
Me neither.
So I did mine to 4.
Oh, you did? I thought they said
adventurous.
to do 3.
Yeah, 3,
That's
2,
crazy.
4, and I went to 4.
And then you choose, I did it wrong because
Because it was our first time,
Yeah.
we didn't really get, and this, from what we've been told from other people who are there, is a little different from other hot pot places.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to cough. I apologize.
Oh, is that what's going on? I didn't know what was happening in your
Was
face.
I doing a weird face?
You were just like, it was like, like you were explaining something to me, but you really didn't want to talk about it
I've
anymore.
had this
or something?
wicked bad dry cough since I was inhaling the fumes. I hope that has nothing related to that. But
Good. I'm sure. I'm sure you're fine.
It's weird. It's fine. But yeah, I guess the difference between what we did and potentially traditional hot pot
Yeah.
is our version of it is there was the meat. And then you could pick up pasta, which I say pasta, it's noodles. It's a ton of different noodles. I keep calling noodles pasta. I don't know why.
I mean, pasta is noodles, but not all noodles are pasta.
Right. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm saying it. But you get the choice of your noodles
You're
and then
Italian.
vegetables. Yeah, that's what it is.
what-
The blood.
Yeah.
The Italian blood's coming out. And so you basically made this big bowl of ramen is how it was formatted.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess from other places it's kind of all you can eat, where you can go and pick a bunch of meats and things like that and just kind of cook it all and eat it as you want.
Oh, that sounds nice.
But as you were saying, you did it wrong.
Well, yeah, kind of, because I was thinking of, we've done like all you can eat sushi places, which
Yep.
are sick.
Oh, that place is good. We
and
went to.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And I've also been to one where you just order like you order a bunch, they bring it to you. It's like a flat rate.
Yep.
You eat that, then you can order more. And then I've done, like I said, like the Korean barbecue where you just order a bunch of meats. Tim's 10 gallon. You're right, dude. You almost missed the straw.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been drinking one of these a day?
Not of the whole thing.
It's so heavy.
128 milliliters, baby.
So I'm looking at the menu, and I'm like, I'm just going to get a bunch of meats. So I got 3 different kinds of meats.
Yep.
I got salmon, I got pork, and I got chicken.
Dude, having a meat party over there.
Now I'm watching everyone else order, and you pick your broth. You pick your meat.
He did pick a broth. He didn't just order meat.
Yes, that's true. I picked the broth. I picked the broth.
I'd like just meat,
Just
please.
yeah. And then you pick, and the menu even walks you through it. So
It does.
I'm just total moron. I'm not reading it all. It literally says first, pick your broth. Like it's written as if you're supposed to pick one of each.
Yes.
So then after that, you pick your noodles. And then after that, you pick your vegetables. And then what you're supposed to do is construct them in that order. And
It is weird that they do the noodles after the meat. I feel like it would be broth, noodles, then you pick all the things that go into it.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
It just might confuse people because how it's organized. But
Yeah. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it makes sense. Maybe you would put the meat in first and then the noodles on top. Mix it in that way.
I didn't cook it that way.
Did you even get noodles?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. You did. I got no noodles, no vegetables. I'm like, I was going to eat a bunch of meat.
Right.
And then it came and I was like, now I see how this is supposed to be. And I just did it very wrong.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily understand it either right off the bat. But I did get, because I wanted noodles, so I got noodles, I got scallops, and a pork belly.
Oh, yeah. Pork
and
belly
then-
was good.
Yeah, and then an egg. They just give you a full egg.
Yeah, the egg was deceiving. When you look at the egg in the menu, it looked like an ostrich egg.
Well, I thought it was going to be a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah, and then they bring you a raw egg.
A cracked egg in a bowl.
It
I'm like,
does look
okay.
hard-boiled in the
Yeah.
picture. And then they're just like, here's your raw egg.
But it still worked. I threw it in and did that. And
Actually sounds really good.
it worked really well. It gooeyed all over the pasta. Pasta noodles! Damn it!
It gooeyed all over the pasta.
It gooeyed all the eggs. The yolk, it gooeyed.
I got you.
Gooey.
Just bummed about it, dude. Just
I'm
bummed you
sad
said
about
like
it,
that.
too. It's, dude, I'm 30 and life's sad.
So how's
now.
it feel? How do you feel? Do you feel any... I know you weren't like afraid of it or anything like that.
No.
You're just like, hey, I'm turning 30.
No, nothing really changed because last year felt like my 30th year.
Yeah,
In the sense of
okay.
how people say it's, you know how many times I heard it's all downhill from here now? Not the song.
It's one of my biggest pet peeves. It drives me insane. I feel like I am constantly combating the just the standard negativity. It's not like I don't have a ton of people in my life who are like super doom and gloom all the time, but I
Yeah.
do know some. I try to make sure they're doing all right, lift them up when I can,
Yep,
remind
help 'em
them
out.
not everything is terrible. But there's a standardized negativity, at least here in the West. I like in the States. I feel like there's this negativity that just comes in those little doses, little like sprinklings here and
Right,
there.
you hit like a milestone,
Yeah.
and it's like it's the things people will say when
Yep.
you hit that number that becomes the constant for
Yep.
that age.
When I was engaged, I'd get a comment here and there about like, oh,
The old ball and
old
chain,
ball and chain.
dude. Number one is what they say all the time.
The worst one is, oh, you're really ready to throw your life away,
Oh my god,
bro. How about congratulations?
How about one of those?
Give that one a shot. And I know sometimes it's in jest, but like literally, I can't imagine how many times you've heard it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, even building up to it. I think a lot of people, I don't think they're like happy I'm that age, but people who are at that age or older
Yeah.
are like, now you're one of us. Now
Yes.
you're in that
and they
age
revel.
group.
It's the misery loves company, but you don't have to be miserable. Like it
No.
doesn't have to feel that way.
And I didn't get that from anybody in the sense they're like, finally, he's old enough
Yeah.
to be in pain and
Prepare
tortured.
for the pain.
But it is funny because like almost like clockwork, everybody who was like, oh, happy birthday. Now enjoy your 30s. It's all downhill. I'm like,
Yeah. These are the best years of your life.
Yep.
That's the worst. Dude, I was listening to, you ever listen to Regina Spektor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was listening through like her discography the other day, and she has a song that I had never heard. And she says, I think the line is "Enjoy your youth" sounds like a threat. And I was like, it really does. It's such a
Yeah.
good line because people are always like, they're always kind of craving the thing that's already gone, you know? There's that line from The Office too, where he's like, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before they're gone or something like that.
Oh.
And I know, right? And it's like, there's truth to that. But the whole like, now you're here with us.
Welcome to old age.
It's
Like,
brutal.
what do you mean? Because 30 is not that old at all.
No.
I think I'd start feeling old by, I don't know, 40s, 45 maybe. But even then, it's all just how old you feel
And
or
I
how
think
old you think you are.
You'll probably, like, maybe you'll feel old in concept. Like, I'm close to 40.
Yeah.
That feels weird to even say.
Because I don't see you as anything more than like early 30s at most.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so, like, I'm so youthful.
So
and
youthful.
Just bouncing around, dude. I can
You still play video games. You still watch movies.
I can do somersaults and tricks.
Dude, do one right now.
A trick?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but my urge was to just dump my coffee out on the table.
That would have been the worst trick
It would have been
ever.
terrible. But the scrambling to move all the electronics that would have ensued.
Dude, that is the worst
Gosh.
kind of trick you could ever do.
So the trick was stopping myself from doing the trick.
That was impressive.
I hope you guys liked it.
I enjoyed it.
I was trying to joke about how like youthful I am and stuff. I wasn't trying to like brag about my mentality, but I don't know.
No, it's. I think it's
know
a
if
big
it landed.
difference between you and a lot of other people who see it as like it's all downhill from
And
here.
like, I mean, there are realities to these things, but I'm just not surprised to hear that you've heard like, oh, it's all downhill. What are you supposed to do with that?
It's like,
and the other aspect of it is I know people say it in jest, but I always want to be like, do you really feel that way? Because if you do, you don't have to. Like,
Right.
I feel like the person saying it is like, oh, everything sucks all the time.
because I have no one telling me like, yeah, this is like I like there's no, it's only you thinking that you're old and that you're at that point where it's like, this is it. Like now I'm going to go to my 40s and 50s and 60s and it's all just going to end. It's like, no.
Might as well be dead.
Right. Might as well just
I've heard many people, older people say that they haven't felt their age since like their 30s. Like in their 30s, they were like, okay, I feel this age. But then they're like 40, 50, 60, and they're like, I have not felt my age. Like it's weird to say I'm 50. It's weird to say I'm 60.
Yeah.
I saw like a street
that a lot. You're
street interview with this woman who she was. It was surprising how old she was. She was in her, I think, late 70s. But she was just like walking the streets of New York, just doing her thing. And the question was like, do you feel your age? And she was like, no, I have not felt. It doesn't even make sense to me to say that I'm like 77 or whatever she was.
Yeah.
So I know that's just like a common thing too, but it doesn't. How do you feel in age? Like that's the thing.
Right, because you're always in your body. You're always feeling how you're feeling. I definitely have felt myself grow, like in the sense from like 20 to 30. I have felt myself mature and grow and like in that sense. But yeah, I still have like childhood thoughts and things like that. Like,
Well, I think what's interesting about it is what we're saying when people are like, I don't feel this old. I think what they're saying is something like, I don't feel like what people think I'm supposed to feel like.
right, like how you're supposed to feel at 40. You're supposed to like your back hurts and you're like walking around
Yeah.
and like in pain all the time.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
they say it starts at 30.
right. And I mean, I won't lie. In my 30s, I've had to take care of myself in ways that I was like, oh, now I just like that hurts for some reason. So, I mean, like I said, I've said it multiple times, but there are realities to those statements. But when they become just like the standard response to someone having a certain birthday,
Yeah.
it's like, bro, that's a bummer. Shut up.
I don't want to think about that. I know, but come on.
I know, but please stop.
So when I say like my last year felt like my 30th year,
You had your doctor's visits.
Yep.
You were,
I had the colitis and the sciatica.
I hate to say it, but like there was death happening all around you.
Dude,
like,
with the dogs, dude. Last year sucked.
It was rough.
So much.
It was rough.
But I already feel
No pun
like
intended.
yeah, that was. There you go. But so far this year, I've already felt physically better, mentally better. It's
awesome.
been a great month so far, and I think it's that mentality of like all those things that happened last year, I don't want to happen again. So I'm doing things to make my life experience better.
Cool.
But also just different things, just changes. But yeah, this year so far has felt great.
And you got through last year.
I survived last year.
We get through it, you know?
We get through it, yep.
Yeah.
And I'm very appreciative that I'm not in constant pain on my left side anymore. I'm not even using my sciatica pillow, which I should.
Crazy.
I should, but I'm not gonna.
No, that's awesome, dude, because that was... I know that was super rough for you, and I've felt that pain before for a fraction of the time that you were dealing with it, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It just affects your whole body.
So much. And I just like think about all the days I spent just lying on my stomach on my bed, like just waiting for it to go. But yeah, it was a good time to reflect and just think like, okay, I want to do some different things. Hence the whole 30 for 30 challenge.
Yeah, dude.
That's where that idea spawned.
So I was going to ask you about that because for anyone who, I'll give you a brief catch up just in case you're not privy, but Tim started, how long did it take you to put the list together?
The list took me just like a couple of weeks because I had like 5 ideas, then 10 ideas, and then I was like, oh, I really need to like, if I'm doing 30 challenges, I really got to think of. So I had like the baseline stuff I really want to do. The whole reason the challenge started, which was like getting my license, going back to school, the really big stuff. But then just like other things that I was like, I really want to do these, volunteer, donate blood, things like that. And then I started thinking of more and more ideas. So from the initial idea to completion was probably a couple months worth of like thinking, and it was the end of December. Yeah, the end of December is when I officially finished the list.
Yeah. So it's a list of 30 challenges that Tim put before himself in his 30th year. But you kind of started the challenges at the beginning of the year.
Yes, instead of like when I turned 30, I started at the beginning of the year because why wait?
Right.
Why wait?
100%.
I'm 30 and I can do whatever I want. How many times did I say that?
Tim wasn't 30 and was already doing whatever he wanted.
But I just get in that mentality.
So now you're officially 30. Where are you at with the list?
I'm making pretty good progress.
Pretty good head start?
Yeah, not as much in other areas. Like certain things I'm doing really good with.
Yep.
And other things I'm like, I probably won't get to that stuff until like summer.
Yeah.
But that was the idea of the list is I would have a lot of these like more manageable, doable challenges.
Yeah, sure.
Because some are like special events that you just like go do once. Like get a massage. I'd go and get a massage.
Yep.
And things like that, which Bailey got me a massage for my birthday.
Oh, I didn't know if you knew yet.
Yeah.
I didn't know when that's sick. All right,
yeah,
cool.
so that'll be in February. So I'm also thinking about like how am I going to film that? I might ask and be like, is it okay if I film like this massage? Because I'm thinking like vlog stuff.
Yeah, you can set up a camera.
I was thinking like a time lapse or something like
100%.
that.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
But it is weird. Like that's one thing I'm learning with vlogging is like asking people, and especially like we've done a couple family events and I like pull out my camera and I feel like weird because everyone's like, oh, but they respect it. It's not that anybody thinks it's weird.
That's the thing. Like with most things, people aren't thinking about it as hard as you are.
Yeah.
Like I see you take it out, and obviously this kind of stuff is like, I know what you're doing, so I don't think about it as much. Plus, the way you do it is like quick. It's actually better. I almost wish more people were vlogging than texting during family things.
Yeah.
Because it's less distracting. You're just like snag some video. I'll edit this later, and you're interacting with us and stuff. I have caught myself texting before, and I'm like, how long have I been texting?
Right, like what's happening outside here? Yeah.
So
I agree. I think it is better because I feel like you're still, like you said, interacting and you're making it, I don't know, a little more fun. But yeah, like I wish I had my camera out more for my birthday, just because the footage I have is good, but I don't know. I feel like I just wanted more. But I also felt awkward about it, and
it's tough.
Even though I was surrounded by people who know, and family and friends and all that.
Depends on the scenario.
Yeah.
You'll be able to make a compilation though. Because you got more birthday stuff coming up.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I think I might make the birthday its own vlog, and then whatever's coming up its own thing. So I mean, granted, I don't know what it is, so we'll see how it goes.
Well,
but
when's your next episode come out?
So I still have all of last week. So my plan was to do half. Like I want to split my weeks in half essentially. But because last week was so crazy, that all ended up being one vlog. So that's coming out Friday, and then I'm hoping to get this week out by Monday and like try to catch up.
Okay.
Because I was trying to get them out like in a reasonable time. So I have all last week I still had to edit, but
yeah.
So as far as to go back to everything, as far as the challenge goes, I'm making headway with a lot of stuff. I listened to a couple albums. I finished one book. I finally finished the new Avengers Omnibus, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yes.
And and then you got me a book, and I have a whole stack. I'm gonna try to crush through those Goosebumps too.
Let's go.
But I do want to read some more adult books too, but not adult. You know what I mean? More mature books.
Hey man.
But yeah, so as far as the overall challenge goes, I feel like I'm doing really good.
Cool.
At the end of the month, so I'm going to do it every month. I'm going to do a recap of everything I've done and like cross off or show the progress on all my
Love
things.
that.
Yeah.
That rules. That's so cool. And you've only been 30 for a day.
I've only been 30
Sounds
for a
pretty
day,
dope.
and I'm already way ahead.
Very exciting. Cool, man.
How
That's
are you?
it.
Like, how's life going? How are any goals that you have that you're working towards?
Yes, I have. Let's see. What's interesting? I had kind of I've had a very pensive like couple of weeks. By which I mean I'm just a big thinker. I'm an overthinker, and I've been trying to figure out where I'm being productively cautious and where I'm just totally like stopping myself, like getting in my own way. I guess is the terminology I'm looking for. By which I mean, I have a ton of like goals and ideas constantly. I've talked about this ad nauseum on the podcast. So I, at any point, could totally just pick a thing to work on and like just kind of focus on that one thing. But my life is set up in a way that I can't really like, I can't always make that thing what I want it to be, you know, ideas for podcasts or YouTube channels or even music or whatever it might be. It takes a certain amount of time and or money. So the past couple of weeks, I've been thinking about like what projects have I been sitting on, and I specifically have 3 songs that I've been sitting on for literally years at this point.
Jeez.
That I've been waiting to put out until I can afford like full-length music videos for them. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know. I did 2 music videos last year, and like I'm very proud of them. They got, you know, nothing crazy, hundreds of views on YouTube or whatever. And I'm so glad they're there because as I like add to my music resume, if people go back and watch those, I'll be really proud that they get to see those videos.
Right.
And there's also these peripheral things, like I got to work with, like I made new friends working on those music videos, worked with old friends. Jazz, my son, was in one of the videos.
Yeah, so it's a cool time capsule for
Totally.
like part of your music career.
100%. And that's like anything, like everything we do to keep up, like if nothing else, you and I have years and years of like hanging out that we
Yes.
got to do and being creative and stuff like that. So all that stuff is great. But I'm sitting here thinking about these 3 songs, and in my head, I'm making up this story that like I need to put out these incredible music videos, which I have treatments for all 3 of them, like these full, like one of them's like almost a script. The other one's just this storyline that I would love to tell that I think matches the song really well. But it's going to be thousands of dollars.
Ooh.
And I'm like, so what am I going to wait until I can afford those to put those songs out?
Right, because it's like, do you really want to wait until you have the money to like have the song that you're basically ready to do?
Dude, they're done.
They're
been
done.
Mixed and mastered. I've paid for them to be like,
Wow.
they're finished. I
Yeah.
have album art, like I know, and I've just been sitting on them. So it's been this kind of thing where I'm like trying to figure out what have I made up in my head that is a reason to not like release a thing or whatever.
Right, because I mean, realistically, you could release them and then do the music video
Anytime.
down the line. Anytime.
I mean, best case scenario, I put it out. One of the songs catches traction somewhere or like does really well because I'll do like little promotional stuff on Instagram or whatever. But yeah, I've been kind of just trying to figure out where my priorities should be and what I should put my time into, which is my constant issue. And like struggle and question for myself, but from the perspective of like, where have I just gotten in my own way? So what that resulted in is I remembered the other day, I was like, oh, a friend of mine sent me this beat and I immediately thought of a hook for it, like right away.
Dang.
And I'm curious if this ever happens to you. So what happened was I was thinking about this while I was driving. I drive for work, so I have a lot of thinking time. This is why I get so pensive. Well, probably not why. That happens to me naturally. I just happen to be in an occupational situation where...
Well, yeah, I mean, your mind wandering could lead you to
dude.
so many different paths within your own head.
100%. Yeah, it's crazy. So I thought about this beat, and I was like, you know what? I thought of a hook for that right away. I didn't do anything with it. Let me just pop it on. So I was listening to it, and I immediately remembered the hook. I wrote a verse for it, and I had this whole narrative. It was Gold Wings, actually, the song I was just telling you about. And you'll hear it in the post-credits. And I
Not the song, just
yeah, I didn't. Spoiler alert: I don't play the song in the post credits. So I was driving, and by the end of the day, I had a second verse for it, and I was like, "This is done. I could just record this." And there's a spot where I wanted my friend to like do feature vocals, so I went home. I got home early, like one day that week. I went home. I recorded the song. I didn't even necessarily feel like it. Like I had just gotten home from work, but I was like, I want the song out. So I'm just going to do it. Recorded the demo, sent it to my friend. He's like, yeah, I'll do the vocals. I texted my other friend and I was like, hey man, I'm working on this song. Would you want to do cover art for it? He was like, send me the song. And I just got everything in motion. And
it's crazy how like almost easy it is you to just pump out music like that.
Yeah. And so this is the thing. I wonder if you've ever done this. I wasn't sure about the song. I was like, do I want to put the song out? I like it. I love the concept.
Yep.
And I like the verses and I think it's cool, but I have such a hard time with everything I make, just not hearing and seeing myself. And not that it matters, but it's really hard for me to not wonder what people are going to see or hear. You know what I mean? And so I think that's the thing I'm trying to get over is like, because even the music video thing, it's like I'm concerned that if there's not this incredible music video, two things. One, the idea I had for it will never happen. And two, people will be like, oh, he put a song out, but there's no cool music video. That's made up. I don't do that.
It is funny because it's like when a song comes out, I mean, there's always music videos, I guess, with them, but not all the time. Yeah.
Often, but not all the time.
Right. And it doesn't deter because people maybe will watch the music video once or twice and then just listen to the song on Spotify. Right. Not to say like the music video is not important because it tells a narrative and it gives people a visual on like all that stuff. But
it's not a requirement.
It's not a requirement, exactly.
Yeah. And so I'd rather just have the songs out. So anyways, I was kind of what was I talking about? I derailed myself.
We were talking about your goals of the year and how you were like focusing more on creative endeavors.
Bless you, child.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I have this idea and I can't get it out of my head. This is what I was saying. I like kind of go back and forth. I'm like, I don't know. Is this like good enough to release? And I can't get the idea out of my head. So that is basically why I'm putting it out. I do really like the song. I'm stoked on the concept.
So it's taking up brain space, but in a positive way because you want to get it out there. And it's not like I hate that it's in my head. I got to do it.
Right. And this is the crazy thing. I went back in my voice memos to find back when I came up with the hook. I was like, I didn't remember exactly how I worded the lines in the verse. So I went back and found that, and it was June of last year.
Wow.
That my friend sent me. So it's been, I don't know, 6 months?
Yeah.
What's the math on that?
More. 7 now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And he sent me that beat, and I came up with that hook, I think, that week, because I'll just drive and listen to a beat.
Yeah.
And I haven't done anything with it for that long. And it's because, this is the other thing I do, I make up this order in my head. I guess this is what I was doing with the music videos. I was like, well, I have those other 3 songs. I'll put those out, and then maybe I'll put this out. But then I was like, no, why don't I just finish writing this song, and then I'll just put this out, and then I'll put out the other 3. Doesn't matter.
Because it's not like anybody knows the order. It's not like it's all just you on how you want to release it.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with us, where I'm like, we need to do these kinds of videos, or we have to have this kind of content ready to put out before we work on this other stuff. And so I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I am at a place where I'm like, am I going to keep just thinking about ideas and stuff and not do them? Or am I just getting in my own way because I have these certain like expectations of what it should look like? And so I'm trying to find the answer to that, I guess. I don't know. That's a lot of stuff.
No, that's...
You know what I mean? That's a lot of stuff.
That is a great answer to my question.
Is it?
It's one of your goals this year is to, like, consolidate how you do creative endeavors and, like, what's worth putting out, what are you holding out on? Like, that's, I think that's a really good thing because it'll free your brain. It'll get more stuff out that you want to do without, feeling like you're held back. Especially with music. I feel like some artists I know don't release music for like years and years.
Totally.
And it could very well be that reason. They want music videos, they want all this stuff. But I think like with anything, I mean, the more you put out, there's just a higher chance of those being heard and seen and things like that. And then once you hit that point where it's like, okay, you can take years off to work on the next album, which I can't imagine.
I mean, that would be so sick.
Right. It would be so sick.
But if I don't, hit that, like if I don't ever get to a point where I can work on stuff full time, like at least I will get this music out, and I'm not like sitting on that.
That's the thing. You got to remember, you're ahead of millions, if not billions of people who, like, you're ahead of me in music. I've never made music at all. But I'm saying, like, you're doing something that's so creatively impressive, but also, like, it's something so many people don't even get to do. And not to say, like I'm just saying you have the talent for it, so you shouldn't waste it on sitting on, like,
Thanks,
ideas.
man.
You just send it out there to the world.
Yeah, I'm trying to. That's the other thing is it's very. It feels selfish of me to like not put stuff out, and I don't mean that in a way of like what I create is a gift to the world.
You have godly musical talent, and it's selfish for you to not give it out to the people.
No, but
you monster.
If you're keeping things to yourself just because you're like, it's like a self-preservation thing, you know, like, oh, I'm nervous, it's not good enough or whatever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like just, but like your videos, your platform is like so fun and like brings so much joy to a lot of people. And if you didn't put those out just because you're like, I'm worried about people not liking me or something. I'm not saying this in like a like an accusatory way, but technically it would be a selfish move. You know what I mean? If you felt like you could put that stuff out, but you're like, I don't want people to not like me.
Right.
I mean, if it's a true, like, legit, deep-rooted anxiety thing, don't put yourself through something, especially like on the internet just because. But at least that's how I think about it for me is like, am I going to sit around and just worry about how it's going to look or whatever, or am I just going to do the best I can with it and put it out?
Because, I mean, there is something to be said about, like, details and paying attention and making sure it's not just, like, crud you send out there.
Yes.
Because there is that fine line where it's like, yeah, you can send out a million videos, but if they're bad quality, if there's no good content, like, what's the point of sending it out if it's not good? And vice versa, if you only do one video a year, even if it's the best-looking video ever, it's like, well, now what? Like, now they have this one thing for the year. So it's like, there is that fine balance. And we do it all the time with our YouTube videos and things like that. Like, we have ideas, and I'm always one, I definitely fall on the quantity side because I'm so confident in our ability to make things look good that I'm not concerned about sending out a bunch of videos, even if they don't make sense, like with the content that's in it. It's because I know the video is still good and fun. Even just with our XG video, like, it was so, like, you know, it's out of our usual realm of type of content we do and stuff, but it's a fun concept. It's a popular video. Like, there's a ton of reasons for it. Yeah. And there probably is never a good time to actually put that type of video out unless there's a new song that we like jump on when it's out. But yeah, I just find that when it comes to creative endeavors, you just jump on the idea. Totally. Because you'll sit and stew on it. I have like 4 ideas that I thought of last year. Like, I still want to do that Netflix interactives video. Yeah. Just like my reviews on all these videos. Because I watched them all. I have footage of all of them. Yeah. And I'm just sitting on all of it. And I just haven't done it. Yeah. Not for any reason other than it's just a big project I want to do. But like, it's something I really want to do. I just haven't done it because I haven't done it.
So this is another reason I am trying to be more like timely with like, if you're going to put it out, focus on it, get it out. Because the XG video we put out, I'm super stoked on it. I'm glad we put it out, but it feels old. You know what I mean? Because we filmed it a while ago. Yeah. Same thing. I was thinking about this with music. The 3 songs that I still think I'm very, very proud of these songs, and I can't wait to put them out. And they're going to feel new to everybody else. But there are even some lyrics in them that date it. And it's not necessarily the stuff I would write. What am I trying to say? There are some songs I've written and waited and put them out later. And it wasn't like representative of me right now.
Right. Like that's how you felt a year ago or 2 years ago or whatever.
Which I'm totally cool with. Like I think songs are, and like films, art is capturing a moment a lot of times, so I'm cool with that. But I'm thinking like I have other stuff I want to write about now, but I'm so stuck thinking about these older songs because they're not out in the world yet. Yeah, I'm still like hanging on to them, but I need to let those go so I can write new stuff. We need to put out our older videos so we can work on new videos, and so it's just I want to be putting out what's representative of like what I'm making right now.
Yeah, and we have some videos that are I think way too old now. You know, we did a full review for I won't say I don't know if the video's coming out now, but.
Which one?
Beetlejuice.
I totally forgot about that. And I agree.
We did a full review.
We got to move past it.
Yeah, and that one just like time-wise, There's no real reason. Sorry, that was gross. I don't know what I had on my lip.
I mean, it just looked like a hair. It's not that big of a deal.
No, it's okay. I think it was. I'm 30 and I can do whatever I want. Yeah, that was timely, and like it might have been good when the movie was out, but it was one of those that just kind of fell to the wayside, you know. And the time it takes to edit could just be used to make something newer and better.
Newer, better.
So again, I totally get the idea of like something being tooled. But you could always utilize it in a different way, I think. There are ways. I mean, I don't know if that Beetlejuice video will ever come out, but because it's not even edited, so who knows? But sometimes it happens. Sometimes things get left on the cutting room floor.
That's the other thing. It's fine. It's just like moving forward with confidence is like the big thing. I think an umbrella kind of subject for this, or an umbrella for this subject, I should say, because it's like, okay, I can confidently say like, I'm not super impressed with that video. We're just going to move on from it.
Yeah.
I can confidently say this video was super fun. We really like it. And if you put it out with confidence, whatever this is, and people don't respond to it or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, because like you said, you're confident you like the videos we're putting out or whatever, you know, the content you put up. The response doesn't matter as much. It's like
it's nice when you get a good response. Of course. I mean, that's, you know, part of the whole process. But if you're happy with it, if the few people who saw it are happy with it, then golden.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's dope city.
The other two things that, and I promise this won't be, that was like a really long, but
I talked about my 30 for 30 for a little while.
Dude,
so
I didn't say long story short, so.
It's true.
The other two things I'm like thinking about a lot lately.
Yeah.
And I guess it's always the same. Or it's stuff I've been thinking about a lot for a while, is
long story short,
health and social media.
Yes.
Because you know how I was like kind of off social media?
Yeah.
I think I'm still trying to be off it as much as possible.
Honestly, I'm jealous because every time I go on an app, I'm like, what am I doing here?
I'm trying to make it as functional as possible. So like I literally think I want to get on there to share art.
Yep.
But I get to, it's partially my fault, but like I just get too sucked in too fast.
Yep.
And I get emotional, like I get worked up about stuff. And it's just not productive.
Especially considering right now, and this is something I was going to talk about today anyways with the whole TikTok ban and everything like that. Like it was almost relieving it got banned.
For like an hour.
That was the worst part, is it was 12 hours.
It was, honestly, dude, I was like stoked that, and it's hard because I know there are a lot of people who have like made livings, made a living on TikTok.
That's the thing. Like, I didn't want it gone because I felt bad for numerous, potentially millions of Americans. I mean, that's a big number. I don't think that's the case. But anyways, a ton of people who whole livelihoods depended on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine tens of thousands of people at least make a living off of it.
For sure.
I don't know. Obviously, like the usership is not how many people are making a living off of it, but there are a lot. And I felt bad about that. But for your average, average?
Yeah, dude, your average, your average all day normal person.
I think I was trying to. I was trying to say every day and average. That was weird. For your average, like lay person who's just on there, you know, not realizing how much time they're losing to it, I was excited.
Yes.
I was like, I think it's good to have it taken away to be like, maybe I was on there way too much.
Right. Maybe I was spending a lot of time like just watching nothing. Yeah. And granted, I mean, you go on Instagram, you go on YouTube, those options are still there.
Of course.
I went from, you know, watching shorts or watching TikToks to watching shorts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Same thing happens. You know, you still get sucked in, even if it's on a different app. Although YouTube I like a lot better anyways for a lot of reasons.
I do too. YouTube is the one thing that I want to keep because there's a lot of content like that I feel, I don't know, I guess it varies because some of it's just blatant entertainment, but I use YouTube for a lot of different things, whereas the doom scrolling stuff still gets me. And doom scrolling also applies to just reading people's posts over and over again.
Yeah.
It's not just video content. Like, I will still occasionally get on Facebook to like, I'll get messages and stuff like that. And I follow like record labels, but it ultimately turns into like me seeing so many friends and family's posts.
Yep.
But it's not just like fun updates on life. It's other stuff.
Angry about politics, angry about stars. Yep. It's just people fighting in the comments all the time.
Yeah, and it also kind of freaks me out. I've been watching this series on YouTube. I think GQ does it. I think a couple platforms do it, but it's like actors on actors. So I watched one with like it was Adam Sandler and Brad Pitt like interviewing each other.
It's so funny because those two, like, I would never see
That's wild.
in a movie together. I don't think.
Yeah,
They're
no.
like different levels of stardom, I guess.
Well, like
How I view them, anyway.
when they were talking, I was kind of realizing they're like same levels of stardom in very different lanes.
Yes.
So it was just very cool to watch them converse. But I've watched a ton of these. Almost, I mean, I think every single one. You could go to one now. I guarantee you, one of, if not the top comment, will say, whoever put these two together deserves a raise. And it's not one person going to all these videos, just someone comments that. It's just the comment that like comes to people's minds.
Yeah.
And it freaks me out that there's this like hive mind thing because we're all in the same place online that we all are thinking the same way.
Right, like that is like an internet thought.
Yeah.
That like it's someone said it years and years ago and became part of the lingo, and yeah, that is
People just say it.
people just say it.
And I'll see comments like word for word that are, and you know, I'm sure there are a lot of factors to it, but there's just something in my head that's like, I don't like this. I don't like that we're saying the exact same thing.
It's weird how much things are recycled. Like I'll see so many comments. If you see a big person in a video, guaranteed Big Chungus. You'll see Big Chungus everywhere.
Yeah.
And like there are just things that are recycled because they're a joke, but because that's all people can think of to comment. There's no comment with like sauce behind it or with any thought. It's just memes and jokes and yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Weird.
I don't like that there's not original thoughts anymore.
Right. It's a lot of echo chamber.
Yes.
You
Yep.
know, and
That's freaky. And it's funny you say that, and this is like kind of, you know, a little bit outside the lane of what we're talking about, but the top best-selling games for 2024 were announced.
Yep.
And there were 5 sports games. There were 2 Call of Duties, one from 2023 and one from 2024. There was the only 2 outliers were Helldivers 2 and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
okay.
But what that means to me is people just do the same repetitive stuff year after year.
Yes.
The best-selling games were sports games, which are the most repetitive of all the games. If you're in it, I understand they have new systems, they have new things, but it is the most copy and pasted game ever.
Yeah, it really is.
Same with Call of Duty. Granted, I got really into Black Ops 6, and I have played a lot of the Call of Duties, and they are fun games.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that both Black Ops 6 and Modern Warfare 3, which was, again, Call of Duty from last year, made the top 10 best-selling games. People just want to do the same stuff over and over again because there's comfort in it.
Right.
So to go back to the echo chamber idea, it's just funny that, like, people will year after year will do the same thing and still have fun with it and still, which, I mean, if you're having fun, you're having fun.
Yeah, I mean,
But like, people aren't doing things.
especially us, like we obviously appreciate the impact of nostalgia and things like that. But yeah, I think that it gives me this like.
And that was in the U.S., by the way. That wasn't in the world.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, you can usually, it's pretty reflective throughout the world.
Sure.
Besides Japan. Japan's always, they got crazy
Doing
games.
their own thing.
But Europe usually has a very similar list.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it gives me some kind of, I guess, like an anxiety about like, because I don't think everyone is thinking about it. And sometimes I feel like, not that there's anything special about me or the way I'm looking at it. I know I'm not the only one who like thinks about this stuff, but sometimes I feel like I'm like outside the matrix.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
like
watching everyone do the same things, and I'm like, has no one else noticed that all these people are saying the exact same things? Like,
it's the big difference between like the conformity of like, and you see it, and we're taught it in school. Everybody just following the line, doing what that is, and you're like, why are we in this line? Let's go like elsewhere. Let's go get McDonald's or something. But granted, McDonald's is following the line.
It's the line.
You got to go somewhere else, man. But
dude, I had this thought the other day. I was, it's very cold where we are right now. I drive for work. I got out of my truck.
Yeah.
I was in a hoodie, my work jacket, a beanie. I have facial hair. And I get out to get gas.
Yep.
And I look across the parking lot to the other gas pump.
Dude.
Could have been a mirror.
Just
another dude, my size and height.
Yep.
Facial hair, beanie, hoodie, his his jacket from his company, and I'm like, we're the same guy.
The same guy doing the same thing, essentially.
And like, that's whatever.
Because there are things where it's like, of course, it's cold out, so everyone's going to be wearing very similar clothes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what else are you going to wear? Like humans, we only have so many options. Not to say that you can't wear different things, but it is just funny. Yeah, that's a great point. That there's so much conformity, and so many people are just going through the motions and not breaking free, being creative, or buying new games, or listening to new music, And I'm with you. I think we both see it because we like wacky things and weird things, and we go off the beaten track.
Totally.
But I mean, maybe a lot of people do, and we just don't notice it. But I think as a general group, people do the same things.
Yeah, I think the way the internet has brought us all into one place, I think it's why trends come and go so fast. Rach and I were talking about fashion trends recently, about how like when we were kids, we would, maybe something would start to catch on, but the way that it would happen is you would, I don't know, maybe see it on TV or in a magazine, but ultimately you'd see someone at school like wear a certain thing, and it'd be like, what is that? That's weird.
Dumb looking.
And then within like maybe a couple months, maybe a year, everybody would be wearing it, or it would be more commonplace at least.
Right.
And it would take however long it takes to spread naturally to run its course and then ultimately change. But now if there's a new trend, there's literally videos online being like, this is the new trend, don't wear that anymore, wear this. So now everyone in the world is seeing the trend all at once, and it runs its course so much faster.
So fast.
And I mean, it feels like that should make things like games change and like morph more, but instead it's like, oh, everyone's always going to buy the Call of Duty, so we're going to make another one. Everyone's always going to watch this movie, so we're going to make another one.
Because they're feeding the machine. Because it
weird,
sells.
man.
It sells.
It's
It does
weird.
well. I know. It's so weird because when you look back at last year, so many good games came out. So many good games.
Yeah.
And some that I would guarantee should be on the list. So we had the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, which is like so many people are nostalgic for that. Maybe a little bit more niche. But you look at Tekken 8, you look at the Game of the Year, Astrobot. Like there were so many games that came out.
Astrobot wasn't on there.
Nope, not on. I don't even know where it rested. They only showed the top 10 that I saw.
That's crazy because I heard so much about it.
Yeah, but that's why our industry, or at least the gaming industry, is so like you're not seeing as many creative things outside of the indie scene. It's because sports games and Call of Duty sell. So you want games as close to those, but also not exactly like those, so they'll sell. And it's funny, Fortnite's not on the list, but Fortnite doesn't sell game copies; it sells outfits. So it was probably the most profitable game. I can't imagine the billions of dollars.
On the regular, wonder what Fortnite's income is. I mean, I'm sure you could.
What do they do with all that money? All they do is put it more. I guess they do the collabs. I mean, they just recently had Godzilla, Hatsune Miku, and King Kong.
Yeah.
The whole, that's crazy.
Bro, the Godzilla one's pretty.
I didn't even download it and play it. I should have.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is it? I think it's still. This
it might
current
still be
season.
going. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man, it's weird.
Yeah. But the conformity stuff, I see it all the time, and it's so weird because I'm like, especially like some people will post things on like Twitter and be like, game or console wars are stupid. Don't follow the trends. And it literally all the comments are like, PlayStation's better, PC's better, Xbox is better.
What is the point of that?
It's so mindless,
right?
And you could hundreds of comments of the same thing where all these people are just like, my console's the best, and it's like that wasn't even the point of the post.
Yes,
where it's like
that's the thing. Then the conversation devolves, and someone says something that's like, and I realize it's hard because I will see a post of something and be like, what would I say to that? And it's like something about the post that I don't like, but it's not necessarily the point of the post. And that's what happens is like it goes haywire, and then people are arguing with other people that they'll never even meet, and like it's just so unproductive.
For what purpose?
For what? Dude.
I've never, even if I see a post I don't agree with, I don't comment.
Yeah.
If I have a negative thing to say, I keep it to myself.
Right.
Because the only outcome of that is the person's going to be like, well, I don't agree with you and you're stupid for saying it. It's like,
you're an idiot.
It's a 1 in a million chance that your negative opinion will change the opinion of whatever the post is. I get being like constructive. You can be constructive and be like, hey, I don't agree with this, or like there are ways to go about it, but I just don't go out of my way to do that.
And look, it makes us, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
It makes us talk about the same thing. It's right now.
Dude, we're in the machine.
We're in the freaking
We're
machine,
an hour
dude.
into this podcast.
Yeah.
And we've talked about all the things we've talked about before.
Crazy.
It's a cycle.
Yeah, so it's weird. I'm trying to I've the past couple of days I've been trying to think of like what do I actually want to do?
Yes.
With like social media.
Social media.
I think I want to be like as often as possible.
Yeah, and I think I think about it all the time. Like, man, I wonder how different my life would be if I like just wasn't on social media at all. Because it does take up a good chunk of my day.
Dude.
Granted, the work I do requires me to be on it so much,
right.
but I just wonder if like I would be better with my time spent if I'm not on social media as much.
Another aspect of this, so I use it for a lot of stuff. Like, you know, fitness is a big goal of mine, and something I'm thinking about a lot. So I'll end up looking up a lot of information online, and while I'm adding to my knowledge, I realized recently, I'm like, there comes a point where you have enough and maybe too much knowledge, because I was like, how much of what I've learned am I actually putting into practice?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
and like how much you actually remember after watching
Right.
20 short videos.
Yeah.
It's like you have a jumbled mess of all the ideas.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I remember that recipe. And that guy said like you should do push-ups like how many times a day? Like you have bits and pieces.
100%.
So you feel like you're learning.
Yeah.
But you're not comprehending.
you're not necessarily doing it. So how much information is too much information?
yeah.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday about politics, and I am learning more lately because of how heated people are.
Yes.
So I had a friend text me this thing, and he was like really upset about it, but it wasn't a lot of information. And I was just like, I don't really get why he's so mad. So what it turned into is me looking up what the thing was previously, what the proposed idea is to change it. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But it was almost like he had so much information that any new information was just going to make him angry.
Yes.
You know? And you get to a point where you're like, you can just feel overwhelmed. And obviously, I mean, that's a very supercharged area right now in general, and has been for years at this point, politics, I mean. But with anything, I'm like, how much of am I watching a video and then putting it into practice that week? Because I think that's the thing that, I'll speak for myself, I definitely lack is the practice. I'm not practicing things as much as I am just watching or learning about them.
Yeah.
Learning is great, but it's step one if it's actually something you want to do, you know? And I think I've done it with a lot of stuff, with creative projects. Like, oh yeah, I would like to write a little something. Whoa, I just spit.
That
like
was a
crazy.
lot of spit.
That was gnarly. Very, very passionate. You know, I would like to write for 15 minutes a day, like just, you know, maybe whether it's something narrative or it's lyrical or whatever, outlining a video for us, like whatever.
I miss my journal.
Yeah, whether that lasts 4 days.
It was like,
was that the beginning of last year?
yeah, that was my goal.
That was last year?
It was.
How has it been a year?
I think I got to.
I miss my journal.
I know. I think I got to February. I still have it over there. It's super dusty.
That's hilarious.
It's super funny.
I should break it out.
I was thinking, I was like, how can I incorporate my journal for my 30 for 30 challenge? And I couldn't think of a way to do it. But
Use it.
Right, use it. But
well, I think you have try new things. How about you try writing in your journal?
You know what my problem with the journal was? Is my writing is atrocious. I don't like looking at my writing.
Really? It's that bad?
It's really bad. It's like chicken scratch, but like.
So you're being selfish because you're worried about how you'll look at your own handwriting.
Well, then if I go back and read, I'm like, what did I write there?
Yeah.
What am I looking at?
Oh, well, that's... Yeah,
I mean, I can read my own writing.
Oh,
but
well, then what's the problem?
I don't like it. I want it to look nice. And then I'm like, well, I could just type. But
Dude,
then
you
I
were
don't
so
want to type.
excited about it.
I was.
We also, last year, were supposed to get you to listen to a lot more albums.
Dude, this year...
I think we did 2.
And remember that bag idea? I don't even know if the bags are there, but I did it for one podcast where you had to say a word and you'd get whatever was inside the bag. Dude, there's so many ideas I have for one episode. And then I'm like, oh, I forgot.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about.
We have to be accountable for
I
the
feel
things
too
we
jumbled.
do.
I do stuff like that a lot. So this all like... It feels like it can... We've talked about a lot of stuff on this episode. But it feels like it can come down to like... I feel too... like harebrained.
Yeah.
Like I'm all over the place.
So, and that might be a social media thing.
I think it is. I think it's really affected me a lot. And then, dude, I saw a video on social media the other day. It was, I don't know if you've seen it before. Scarlett Johansson talking about how she was on Instagram for 2 days and she felt like she wanted to change her entire life to look like this person that she found on
didn't see
Instagram.
that, but-
I'm like, bro, if Scarlett Johansson can't be on social media without feeling like
Yeah.
her whole life is
She wa-
like,
oh my
she wants to
God.
change it. I gotta be off there.
We gotta go.
The comparison thing is just crazy, but
Yep.
I've really been thinking a lot because I feel like I've gotten so much information that I wanted. Like if I want to learn something, there's a ton of really trustworthy platforms that are really informative and really beneficial. But there comes a time where you're just consuming and you're not using it.
Right, because it does, and you're right. That might be 2 videos into your like 30-minute scroll fest where like it just glosses over. Your brain's at max capacity because it's
getting
like
pushed out.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's too much information.
Right. Yeah. I went back to, I have been handwriting more. So I have like a fitness journal that I've been keeping track of so I can go back and look and see like what my goals actually were, because I realize I'll set goals and then I just forget about them.
That was again a huge part of my 30 for 30 is if I write these things down and I'm looking at my list every day, it's in here. It's locked in. It's like what I'm focusing on. So yeah, writing it down's great too, because writing down, you'll remember what you wrote.
Yeah.
But it's all about checking it and being mindful of it.
Yeah, because if you don't keep an eye on it, you don't know what progress you've made or if you've made any. And I even looked at liked videos on YouTube, because a lot of the stuff I like, it's either hilarious or it's something that I'm like, I want to revisit this. And I went through some and I'm like, I literally remember watching this and being like, wow, this is game-changing information for me. And I don't know, probably watched 100 food challenges after it, and all I could remember was how many burgers Eric the Electric ate that one time.
That's a different level of inspiration, I think.
No shade, I love Eric the Electric.
He's so good.
Big fan.
But yeah, no, because I do that too. I'll like a video and I'm like, I'm going to save this for later and like either use, because I know when I'm scrolling, I'm not going to remember it. And so if I save it, I'll look through it. And then I never look through my saved videos. So then it's all for naught.
It's just hanging out there.
It's just there. Yeah. I bet if I go through, there's like 30 awesome ideas in my saved
You should. Next time you feel like scrolling, just go through your saved videos.
Be like, okay. And then like jump on the idea. Like, oh, that's the idea I had with that.
When you feel the impulse to be productive,
go with it.
Do it. Don't put it off. Man, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're not getting into a category.
We're not,
today.
The Keep Up podcast 2 weeks in a row. We're not keeping up with anything.
I like keeping up with Brett and Tim. I guess.
I like these discussions. Dude,
I do too.
I feel like an hour goes by so much faster.
Me too.
Because we're just chatting.
Yeah.
But we're still watching and doing a lot of things.
Yeah, relax.
Maybe
guys.
we should do another podcast, 2 podcasts, and one where we talk about us keeping up with things. Maybe we'll call it the Keep Up Podcast. That's a good idea. And then we'll do another one like this one.
It's a great idea.
And we'll call it Keeping Up with the boys, the white boys.
We could do the
because we're wearing white shirts.
It also applies in other ways, though.
It does.
What's funny about this is like the format of the podcast then becomes our intro, Sonic music, us talking, and babble.
So much nonsense.
Yeah. Oh, there was a lot in this one. I wonder if
I hope it's interesting. Like, if you guys like this, let us know. We don't get a ton of feedback from the podcast, but
yeah, on the audio one, it's hard unless you're listening on Spotify. You can comment on there, but we do love to hear feedback from you guys. So if you like episodes like this, if you really don't, let us know. I mean, it's always just whatever we're feeling, anyways.
Yeah.
But now that we have had this like 2 episodes in a row, and I know we've had episodes like this too, where we just go on a tangent for a minute. But definitely, regardless of whether it's about that concept or what, love to hear feedback from you guys. If you are a listener, there is always a video episode, so you can go to our YouTube channel, find the episode. It'll be numbered the same and everything, and you can comment there what you thought of the episode. So you can leave feedback that way too.
Yeah, lots of ways.
You can also find us on other socials. So we're at the Keep Up Podcast on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and you can. Oh, Tim,
what?
Tell everybody where they can find you and your vlog and all that stuff.
Oh God. You guys can find me at Collection Revolution.
Let's go.
That's on Twitch. That's on YouTube. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter. That's on Threads. That's on Blue Sky. That's on TikTok. Basically all the social media platforms. I didn't go on Red Note. Everyone went to Red Note.
I just heard about I don't know what that is. I've never.
It's basically the Chinese version of TikTok.
Oh, I see.
Which is funny because TikTok is
isn't
China.
TikTok,
but it's when you go on, it's like not in English, and so that's what a lot of people went to for it. Actually, Red Note might be Chinese Twitter, and then there's another one that's like TikTok. I don't know. I didn't go to any of them. All that to say, Brett,
What?
where can everyone find you and your weirdly shaped eyelids?
You can find me at This Drink I Like It on Instagram. As I put things out and am active on socials.
Yeah, you just said you're not going to be on them anymore.
I will
so.
no, no, but I will continue like posting on like if I do any other projects or if I post something on any platform, I will typically share it there, and that all my other platforms are linked there in the bio. So if you're looking for my music, if you're looking for other podcasts or other such business, it will be on that Instagram profile at This Drink I Like It. I guess that's it. Tim's gonna do what's called End Babble. This has been episode number 306. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We hope you enjoyed. If you haven't yet, feel free to like and subscribe and do the things that you do if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're not, check out the channel. We got a bunch of other videos on there. We got K-pop reaction videos. Yeah. We got movie reviews.
There's a new food one coming out this week.
Oh yeah, we got a fun food one. I will actually the day of this release.
Yes.
Please go over to YouTube and watch us eat one of Tim's strange food creations.
Hopefully, if you guys like it, it could be a series because I make a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, it does have potential for a series. So if you guys dig it, leave some love on that video, and we will definitely do more. There's potential to do more of that style of video. Tim's going to do M Babble, where he talks nonsense for about a minute and a half. Tim, your theme is setting goals and then ignoring them for a bowl of spaghetti.
Okay.
See you guys next week. Love you. Bye.
My sweat breaks free from my brow, writing down the goals of the year with my feathered tip pen. I write aggressively, thinking about all the children that had to be sacrificed to get the ink for my pen.
Wow.
I write goal after goal after goal after goal after goal after goal after goal. But the scent of oh Mamma Mia's delicious spaghetti paminalo. My great Nano's delicious spaghetti pasta. I drop my pen, and hunger strikes like a werewolf breaking free from my inner bowels. And I go and consume the spaghetti. And realize life isn't about goals. It's about Mama Papadoopili's magical pastoloni. And so I'll leave you with this. Remember to eat. If one of your goals is to eat less, still remember to eat in between all that, because food is important, and so are goals. So take care of yourself. Thank you.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Very cool. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to the Keep Up podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. You can also find us at patreon.com/thekeepup, where you can support us monthly for as little as $1 per month, and you can get yourself some cool Keep Up merch in our Etsy shop. Links are down below.
Ready to get started?
On what?
We're doing the bumpers, aren't we?
Yes, we're doing the bumpers. Do you have, you got the remote?
Of course.
Just hit record and we're ready to go.
All right.